October 30th, 2025, a date that would soon be etched into the memories of millions across the Caribbean and beyond. The Caribbean Sea, once calm and inviting, now faces a monster brewing on the horizon, its skies darkening with every passing hour. Just days ago, a cluster of thunderstorms quietly gathered strength in the warm, restless waters, an unremarkable sight at first, but one that would soon command global attention. This was the birth of Hurricane Melissa, destined to become one of the Atlantic's most powerful and unforgettable storms, a force of nature that would test the limits of human resilience. It began as a tropical wave off Africa, a journey many storms make, but this one found perfect conditions: unusually warm water, moist air, and calm upper winds. Everything aligned for rapid intensification, setting the stage for disaster. By October 25th, it was named Tropical Storm Melissa, with 70-mile-per-hour winds and a projected path aimed at millions living in its potential crosshairs. Meteorologists at the National Hurricane Center issued urgent warnings as computer models pointed toward Jamaica, Cuba, and Haiti. Families prepared, boarding windows, stocking supplies, and bracing for the unknown. In living rooms and shelters, people waited anxiously, hoping for the best, but fearing the worst as the storm drew closer. The early stages of a hurricane are filled with uncertainty, but Melissa showed no signs of weakening. Each new update brought more concern. The storm system organized rapidly, its clouds tightening, a clear eye forming, a sign of a powerful hurricane. Meteorologists watched in awe and dread. The stage was set for a historic event. Streets emptied, and the air grew heavy with anticipation. The quiet beginning was over. A monster was awakening in the Caribbean, its power growing with every passing moment. For the islands in its path, the countdown had begun. Every minute felt longer as the storm approached. The world watched as Melissa grew stronger by the hour, its swirling mass dominating news, headlines, and satellite screens. The fate of millions now depended on the next few days. Communities came together, united by hope and fear, as they waited for the storm's next move. A storm for the ages was about to make history, and the world could only watch as Hurricane Melissa prepared to unleash its fury. Hurricane Melissa's transformation was shockingly fast. Rapid intensification, every meteorologist's nightmare. In just 24 hours, it exploded from a tropical storm to a Category 4 hurricane, winds screaming at 140 miles per hour. By October 28th, Melissa peaked as a Category 5 monster, with sustained winds of 185 miles per hour, one of the strongest Atlantic storms ever recorded. Its eye, a calm circle surrounded by chaos, was aimed directly at Jamaica. The storm's size was immense, pushing a wall of ocean water, storm surge, over 20 feet high in places. Rainfall forecasts topped 20 inches, threatening deadly floods and mudslides. The storm's path was a cruel arc. Jamaica, then Cuba, then the Bahamas. Even as it weakened over land, its reach was vast. For millions, the wait was agonizing. Melissa's power was almost unimaginable. The Caribbean braced for impact. October 28th, Jamaica's nightmare became reality. Hurricane Melissa made landfall as a Category 5 storm, slamming Black River and St. Elizabeth Parish. Winds ripped roofs away, snapped power poles, and turned debris into deadly missiles. The destruction was severe. Roads washed out, bridges collapsed, entire communities cut off. 140,000 people were isolated by floodwaters and debris. The nation plunged into darkness as 77% lost power. Military and residents worked side by side, clearing debris for emergency convoys. At least 7 lives were lost. With fears the toll would rise, Jamaica was declared a disaster area. The storm had passed, but the struggle for survival was just beginning. Recovery would be long and difficult. Amid chaos and destruction, survivors' stories reveal the storm's true terror and the strength it takes to endure such devastation. In a small coastal village, fisherman David and his family huddled together, listening as the wind roared like 100 freight trains, rattling their windows and shaking the very walls of their home. When the storm finally passed, their roof was gone, and the sea had swept through their home, leaving behind only debris and heartbreak. Tourists, too, were caught in the storm's grip, evacuated from beachfront rooms to crowded hotel ballrooms, where they listened anxiously to the relentless wind and the sound of debris crashing against the windows. Prime Minister Andrew Holness toured the devastation, describing entire communities inundated, roads washed away, and vital infrastructure severely compromised by the hurricane's force. Relief efforts began immediately, with volunteers and emergency workers mobilizing across the island, and a government website quickly set up to coordinate aid and connect those in need with help. Yet through it all, the Jamaican spirit remained unbroken, shining through even the darkest moments. Neighbors helped neighbors, clearing fallen trees, sharing food and water, and supporting those who had lost everything, proving that community is the island's greatest resource. "We are strong people," said a woman in Santa Cruz as she swept mud from her shop, determined to rebuild her life and her business. "We will rebuild. It will be hard, but we will do it together," she added, echoing the resolve of so many across Jamaica. The resilience and determination of Jamaicans shone through the darkness, as families and friends leaned on each other for strength. The nation faced a monumental challenge, but hope endured, especially in the laughter of children playing amid the debris, and the promise of a new day. Across the island, acts of kindness and courage multiplied, as volunteers and neighbors worked side by side to restore what was lost. The storm tested Jamaica, but unity became its greatest strength, binding communities together in the face of adversity. In the face of disaster, the people stood together, refusing to let despair take hold. The road ahead would be tough, filled with challenges and hard work, but the spirit of recovery was alive in every corner of the island. Hurricane Melissa's fury could not break Jamaica's resolve, and together, the nation would rise again, stronger than before. Haiti was spared a direct hit, but Melissa's rain bands brought catastrophe. Torrential rains caused rivers to swell, triggering flash floods and deadly mudslides. In Petit Goave, a river burst its banks at night, killing 20 people, including 10 children. Across Haiti, at least 23 died, with more missing as search teams struggled to reach remote areas. Homes, crops, and livestock were swept away, leaving thousands with nothing. Haiti's vulnerability, deforestation, poverty, made the disaster even worse. For Haiti, Melissa was a deluge of sorrow, deepening scars on a nation already in pain. In Cuba, preparation saved lives. The government evacuated over 735,000 people from vulnerable areas, moving them to sturdy shelters. Melissa made landfall in eastern Cuba as a Category 3, causing significant damage to homes, crops, and the power grid. The focus on saving lives meant the human toll was minimized. Civil defense brigades quickly began clearing roads and restoring services. Cuba's disciplined disaster response showed the power of community and organization. Material losses were great, but lives were protected. The nation faced the storm with determination and unity. Weakened but still dangerous, Melissa reached the Bahamas as a Category 1 hurricane. Its massive wind field brought torrential rain, flooding, and storm surge to the low-lying islands. The government evacuated nearly 1,500 residents from high-risk areas. Melissa's slow movement drenched the islands, turning roads into rivers and homes into swamps. Damaging winds downed trees and power lines, causing widespread outages. The memory of Hurricane Dorian haunted residents as they faced another ordeal. Even weakened, Melissa's impact was significant. The cleanup would be major, but the Bahamian spirit endured. As the storm moved on, the islands began the long process of recovery. In Melissa's wake, the world responded. International aid poured in for Jamaica, Haiti, and Cuba. Search and rescue, food, water, shelter, and medical care. The U.S. deployed a disaster assistance response team, while the UK and China sent emergency funds and supplies. Local efforts were immediate. Neighbors helping neighbors, governments coordinating relief. In Jamaica, an official website guided citizens to shelters and resources. In Cuba, civil defense brigades led the cleanup. The combination of global support and local resilience was vital. The road ahead would be long, but the Caribbean was not alone. The world stood in solidarity with those affected. Together, recovery had begun. As Hurricane Melissa faded into the distance, the true scale of destruction slowly emerged. revealing a landscape forever changed. For Jamaica, Haiti, and Cuba, the journey to recovery would be long and uncertain, stretching over months, and for some, even years. Homes, schools, and hospitals lay in ruins, entire neighborhoods were left unrecognizable, and families faced the daunting task of starting over. Roads and power grids were crippled, marketplaces deserted, and countless livelihoods lost in the blink of an eye. Yet even in the darkest moments, stories of hope and kindness shone through. Neighbors helping neighbors, strangers becoming friends. Soldiers and citizens worked side by side to clear roads. Neighbors shared precious resources, and nations sent vital aid to those in need. Melissa's rapid intensification was a stark warning. Climate change is fueling stronger, more unpredictable storms, threatening vulnerable communities across the region. Haiti's tragedy underscored the deep connection between poverty, environment, and disaster. The lessons are clear: build resilience, protect the environment, and prepare for the storms ahead, so that future generations may be safer and stronger. Amidst the wreckage, hope survived, seen in the determination of communities to rebuild, and the smiles of children who refused to give up. In the unbreakable spirit of survivors, and in the courage to face each new day, and in the helping hands from around the world, hope was kept alive. The path to recovery would be hard, filled with setbacks and challenges, but it would be walked together. Homes would be rebuilt, fields replanted, and communities slowly healed, step by step. Melissa was a storm for the history books, a reminder of nature's power and our shared vulnerability. The recovery would be a story of resilience, courage, and unity, and the enduring power of the human spirit to overcome even the greatest challenges. The Caribbean would rise again, stronger and more united than ever before.